You want to hear some Shanny?
I do,
you want
big
to hear
time.
some of these answers?
Yeah.
We're going to drop it like it's hot. We'll go back to the phones here in just a sec. 888-957-9570. But this is all pretty good. It's pretty spicy. Shanahan, what's the right timeline for Bosa?
I thought it would come probably to this time, just looking at the history of those things. And I'm really hoping it gets done. I know they're working tirelessly at it. John, Hamp, Prague, I know their team is. But hopefully we can get him in here sooner than later.
Okay. I always love when it's funny. It's funny, especially someone who has as much power within the organizational structure as Shanahan does. You love it when the coaches are like, boy, I hope it happens. I got no idea what's going on.
Sure.
How many times have you heard a coach at a press conference when they're asked about a specific play that's either controversial or like it didn't go well? Yeah, I didn't see it.
I got to look at the film.
I got to go look at the film.
That's always my favorite.
What were you looking at? What do you mean you didn't see it? You're on the sideline. You're coaching the game. Are you looking away on certain plays?
But you know that being on the sideline is maybe the worst view in terms of being able to see like the way a play actually develops. Like the all-22
sort of
is an overhead view. It's not the sideline view.
I think
when you're already, nose deep in the play sheet and stuff.
Yeah, but you and I have been on sidelines before. Our sideline view is terrible because we're standing behind 60 football players.
Sure.
Head coach who has someone actually carrying a wire so that they can get out front. I mean, they saw it.
Yeah, but you can't really see like whether or not the guard made the appropriate block until you can see it from overhead and the hand placement and stuff. And, you really get a chance to look at the way the play developed, right?
That's fair. That's fair. Although this one, he knows exactly what's going on. He's getting updates every 5 minutes. I have no doubt about it. Can he imagine Bosa not being on the team?
Yeah, I can imagine anything. Doesn't mean I like that picture. Of course not. You guys know how we feel about Nick, and we all know how good of a player he is. So hopefully we can come to terms soon and get him here as fast as possible.
It's my favorite.
Why'd your face do that when he said, I can imagine anything?
Well, because, I can imagine there being monsters under the bed and stuff, and the boogeyman in the closet, and then, whatever, monsters outside my window and stuff. And I can imagine a lot of things. I have a good imagination, and I was raised in a household where my imagination is really good and stuff, and I have a wide-old imagination. So when you talk about imagination and stuff, I feel like I can really do that and stuff. And so, yeah, I can imagine a lot of things, and I don't want to imagine that, but imagine if I had to imagine that in my imagination and stuff.
All right. Shanny asked, I think I got it, Granny. You tell me. This one right here, right? Yeah? Yeah? Down a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So much better.
Live producing right here on the show.
So good. The Grandy man can and does.
He's just trying. Who
can fix the level?
I know what's happening. He's the 13th pick. I'm the 14th. He's trying to get in my space. This is an intimidation tactic right here. Look at him.
Over
He's
here?
like
yeah, Grandy.
Look at him. He's over my right shoulder. And he's just trying to
That's really creepy. That was really creepy.
He's trying to get up all in my living room.
95.7 The Game Fantasy Draft, 3 hours and 8 minutes. And it's funny you say that because JT Lucan, who's screening calls, he intentionally is putting up callers to piss you off to try to throw you off your game.
Well, you know what? I'm one of those people.
Are facts.
I'm one of. I play well mad, so backfire. Huh? There you go. I always hit my longest drive after I've missed a short putt.
And we'll see about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we will.
Yeah. You've already taken 4 quarterbacks, backups. I don't like
it. Appears my team is off to a rough start. He was asked if he even thought about trading Nick Bosa.
No. Yeah. I mean, I haven't talked to many people about that, but I know how I feel pretty strongly. I think everyone would agree that.
No. They're not trading Nick. Why did this start? Did you see this on the internet last night?
I don't.
They're getting Justin Herbert. It's like, oh my God.
I feel bad for whoever asked that question because I know how these press conferences work and you do too.
You got to I guess you don't have to ask, but.
No, but like there are certain like reporters who have the gravitas to where they're going to get maybe 2, maybe 3 questions.
Sure.
Your various Matts, your Mayokos, your Barrows,
Right.
your Cam Inmans, Tim Kawakami. You're going to get more than one question. If you're a one-question reporter And honestly, I would be that if I was in one of these press conferences because I'm not around a lot and stuff.
Let's go to Dan.
Half in the bag?
In the back.
Yeah, and if that was your only question and you asked, are you going to trade Nick Bosa? No, and stuff. I mean, to me, it's a wasted question. Of course they're not going to trade Nick Bosa.
Well, that wouldn't be the kind of question you ask anyway. You'd be like, hey, Kyle.
Why do you always get your QBs hurt?
Hey, Laminated. Did you see what Trey Lance said when he got to Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to pay attention outside of here. I try to deal with the people in here that I have to deal with. And I have felt very good about that. I did see Trey. I was happy watching him actually while I was eating lunch with his press conference in Dallas. And Trey is as real as it gets. And that's how he talks in here. That's how he is every day. So it was cool to see him handle that the right way. And he did seem genuinely kind of happy. And I feel he's in a good position to move on and do better there. Jimmy, the comments are the comments. I'm really not concerned about his comments.
Oh, it's so good. The comments are the comments.
More on that coming up. I will say this just about Trey's Dallas press conference. It was jarring to see him in a star.
Oh, God.
Like anybody else,
I didn't know it was tough.
Right? Like listening to what he said, it was all pretty cookie cutter. Like what's he going to say? He's not here to start. He's QB3. I think he is excited about a new opportunity and a new line of questioning. It was jarring to see him in a star.
Yeah.
Really jarring.
No, it totally was. And I love Kyle's answer because, he starts out by saying, I'm just really focused on what's going on here in this building and stuff and not too worried about what's going on elsewhere. But, yeah, I saw every second of it and I don't miss a thing and stuff. And just he goes from, like, I'm really focused on us to
I watched all of it.
Yeah, and Jimmy's comments and Trey's, and I don't turn it off, and I don't miss a thing.
All right, so this question's about the era of change at quarterback, everything the team's been through over the last 2-3 seasons.
The era of changing is, when we got here, we waited 10 weeks. Made a trade for a quarterback, played 5 games, and then we made him the highest paid quarterback of all time at the time. Then he played 2 of the next 5 years and did really good in those 2 years. His injuries for 3 of those 5 years were legit. It was rough on him, rough on us. And then we made a move to go to a younger quarterback, and that's what we did. We thought he'd be ready in 2 years, and he wasn't. And now we have a different younger quarterback. So that's the situation.
Yeah, I mean, he's just sort of going timeline on that one. And I will say this, not in defense of anyone, quite frankly, but, when we look at the whole experience, it's wild. It's unprecedented. Jimmy called it messy. I don't think anybody would really disagree with that. But when you timeline it and you go 3 months by 3 months by 3 months, it actually doesn't sound as crazy as when you just look at it from the view of the whole thing. Would you agree with that? Like you can sort of see how these circumstances arrive. You acknowledge the mistake of the evaluation of players in certain moments for sure. But if you just roll through the whole thing, well, Trey, and then there was Jimmy, and then Jimmy again, and then Brock, and then Trey again, and Sam, and you're like, what the hell are you all doing?
Right.
But in the moments, it's like, yeah, it made sense in the moment.
It made sense except for the part about Jimmy Garoppolo and, he says, see ya at the end of the year, and the expectation was Jimmy's gone. We made a bet with the morning roast about, cut, keep, or trade, and you and I thought that he would be traded. They thought that he'd be cut. And turns out he was kept, and so we all lost. But
no bet.
The way that whole offseason played out, it felt like they had to trade him, but then he didn't have surgery, and he wasn't healthy. And then Trey Lance, as you got through OTAs, you realized that there was whispers that Trey Lance maybe wasn't as good as you thought. Was it the finger? And the ankle hadn't yet happened, but you weren't totally sold on Trey. So you're right. If you break it down like week by week or quarter by quarter every 3 months, it does make more sense, but the way you laid it all out there, like the sequence of it, he's here, he's gone, he's a starter, he's hurt, he's back, he's here, he's cut, he's now the starter. Now here's your backup. He got a concussion. You lose.
Well, I mean, think back to just last year, how many times you looked at a television or your phone and went, you got to be kidding me.
With the Niners quarterback.
Jimmy getting re-signed.
Yep.
You got to be kidding me. Trey going down week 2, and suddenly Garoppolo, who had a see ya press conference, is on the field.
You got to be kidding me.
You got to be kidding me. And then when Jimmy limps off and the tweets start coming in, oh gosh, this is bad, and Brock Purdy is on the field of a 7-4 football team, and you're like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I'm glad you left out the Jimmy getting hurt as a you got to be kidding me.
No, like the fact that Brock...
That part was like, Jimmy played a long time.
This is being handed... The keys to this Ferrari are being handed to Brock Purdy was, you got to be kidding me. And then I'll add one more, which is that then they never lost another game. And you went, you got to be kidding me.
Well, and then his arm falls off,
right,
and that becomes a you got to be kidding me. And then you look, and it's Josh Johnson, and you say, oh, you got to be kidding me. And I love Josh Johnson. Shout out Oakland, California. And then Josh Johnson gets hurt. And for one more time, you have to say, you got to be kidding me. Because now you're out of quarterbacks. And then Christian McCaffrey is taking direct snaps. You got to be kidding me. And then Brock Purdy comes back in the third quarter. Even though everyone in America knows he can't throw, you got to be kidding me. And then, I mean...
the last one in Philly was more like...
you got to be blanking me?
You got to be kidding me.
Right.
And yes, you got to be blanking me.